school time is here, and TNA Auto Service is here to tell us all about the importance of back-to-school vehicle care.
Our own little town on the prairie, we're taking you on our Laura Ingalls Wilder and Harvey Dunn experience to Smet.
And it's time for Nights Under the Spotlight. The Washington Pavilion is here to tell us about their incredible upcoming Broadway season.
And that's only the beginning. We're just getting started.
Hello and happy Monday. We're so glad you're joining us for the next hour as we celebrate everything that makes life in KELOLAND so vibrant, inspiring, and fun. I'm Ashley Thompson.
And I'm Mitchell Olson. Whether you're tuning in from your living room, your office, or catching us on the go, we've got a show that will brighten your day. And it is back to school week.
Back to school week. We've been thinking about that. Well, some people in the area are back to school already.
That's true.
But
that is true.
Sioux Falls Public Schools is Thursday, where all three of my children are.
I know.
Okay, you have a game.
I'm going to give you a task.
You're going to give me, is this like a test?
Like a back to school test.
Back to school test, okay.
Kind of.
Okay, so what's the idea of this?
The idea is I'm going to rattle off 20 different items that you need to draw in those squares. And at the end of the 20, I'm not going to give you much time to write, by the way. And at the end, you're going to see if you can
guess what they are.
Get them all back to me. Yep.
Okay.
So, are you ready to start?
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, number 1, umbrella. Number 2, pizza. Number 3, bicycle. Number 4, crown. Number 5, snowman. Number 6, toothbrush. Number 8, banana. Number 9, rocket. Number 10, sunglasses. Number 11, cactus. 12, guitar. 13, hamburger. 14, ghost. 15.
Wait. I missed 11 was guitar, 12 was hamburger. I didn't miss 13.
13, ghost.
Oh.
Ghost. 14, lighthouse. 15, balloon. 16, dinosaur. 17, ice cream cone. 18, mailbox. 19, fishing pole. And 20, wheelbarrow. You did a lot. You did a lot.
Okay.
That was for I gotta say, I'm so impressed. I don't even think I have to quiz you because I can't imagine you getting any of these wrong. But go ahead, number 1.
Umbrella, pizza, bicycle, crown, snowman, toothbrush, banana, rocket, sunglasses, cactus, guitar, hamburger, ghost, lighthouse, balloon, dinosaur, ice cream cone, mailbox, fishing pole, wheelbarrow.
Wow, that's an interesting looking wheelbarrow.
Well, how about the dinosaur?
Oh yeah, you're right. That is wild. That is wild. What is this? 14 is
lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
See,
yep. See, that makes sense.
That's a building. That's a cliff, and that's a wave.
See, as long as you know, what each of those things are. Wow. Yeah, you did pretty good. That was a good job.
Do you want me to erase it?
I don't want to try it. Actually, I brought this big eraser.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Now, well, you passed your test. You're ready for school.
I passed my test. I'm ready for school, but I'm not ready for school in 1880, which is something we learned about recently as we took a test, and that is on today's show as we go to our favorite place in for Laura Ingalls Wilder stuff.
The most interesting thing that I think we learned about that was the teacher rules, which were things like you can't go to an ice cream parlor and hang out.
And you cannot ride in a car with a man unless the man is your dad or your brother.
Right.
And you couldn't even get married, it said. You can't.
No, you can't get married as a teacher. You couldn't back in the pioneer days.
Yeah.
And also even, so there was also, no eating ice cream at the, and also being home by, I think, 8 o'clock.
You had to
be in your room by 8 o'clock. Like, those are some weird rules for teachers.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they've loosened up on that over time.
Oh, man, it's already hard enough to be a teacher. Gosh. All right, well, coming up, don't touch that remote. We'll be back in a living minute.
Yep, grab a coffee, stretch your legs, and stick with us. We'll be right back.
This KELOLAND Living segment is sponsored by TNA Auto Service. Describe the noise, the light, or the feeling, and TNA Auto Service will take it from there.
As summer winds down and the school year gears up, there's one back-to-school checklist item that often gets overlooked: your vehicle.
Whether you're sending a teen driver off to school, tackling the daily drop-off line, or revving up your carpool routine, making sure your car is safe and reliable is essential.
Mark Compson is the owner of TNA Auto Service in Sioux Falls, where he and his crew have more than 50 years of experience in sorting out just what your vehicle needs to keep it running smoothly.
Mark is here to tell us what maintenance checks you should consider this time of year and the steps they take that can help keep your family confidently on the road all school year long.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Hey guys,
Hi.
thanks for having me again.
Well, this is a good reminder, of course, for also me.
Yes.
But yeah, you
That
know,
time of
you know
year
how I
again.
tend to be.
Yeah.
So it's back to school, and especially maybe with kids' cars, we've probably, a lot of us are buying those used, and they might
Sure.
be coming up with some issues from time to time. So
Correct, yeah.
what do we need to be doing?
The best thing to do is just get it in for like we're doing you can do like a back to school checkup kind of thing, but just get them in and get some eyes on what's going on with them. I always preach maintenance, but still it gives mom and dad just a little peace of mind of what's going on when the kids are driving them to and from school, especially with winter coming up, things like that. too.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, things like even checking the tire pressure and things like that are
Correct.
probably really important right now.
Yep.
So is there a checklist of things that they need to check out on their car before they?
We have a 30-point inspection we can do, and we'll go over tires, brakes, your belts, coolant, make sure that the heater's going to work, all that good stuff, so that, like I said, when fall and winter are here, we're not worried about it.
Now, is it a good idea, or can I have my child, who's owner of the car, like even come in and talk and say, like,
Sure.
give them some things that they need to be checking,
we
like
can
checking.
give them some things to look for as far as you always should keep an eye on like tires. That's just an easy thing. When I go out to my vehicle and get in every day, I'm always looking. If you have a flat tire, you don't want to drive with a flat tire, right?
Yeah.
So just some basic things to keep an eye on, things to listen for. It's always good to teach them young.
Yeah,
so that
and
it's going to save you or them money down the road. Not driving on something when there's an issue.
And maybe
Right.
some of those basic things like how to check the tire pressure,
I'll
or
be
like
more than happy.
Yeah.
How to check oil, all that good
just
stuff.
some of those things
Yeah.
they really can do.
Basic stuff.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also with the school year starting, that means that winter is also coming up. So what are some things that people should be thinking about in terms of winterizing their car?
Yep, we always want to make sure tires are in good shape because that's going to be the first thing. We're going to get that first ice or snowstorm and you're going to be spinning out or hitting a curb or something. So tires are a big thing. We want to make sure that the heat's working and that that you're not stranded on that first cold wintry day because that's not good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Windshield wipers.
Windshield wipers, another good one. Washer fluid. Like I said, that's all part of that 30-point checkover that we can do for you guys or anybody and get them ready
Yeah.
for the road.
And would you say that regular maintenance actually extends the life of your vehicle?
100%. I feel like if you have a shop like TNA that you can trust, you shouldn't even have to do this, right? Because it's already been done. But we're there, and we're there for any new customers. But yeah, maintenance. If we have somebody doing that little stuff as we go, it's going to save you and prevent you from being broke down. There's always things that happen. Accidents happen. Alternator might go out or something like that. But it's just keeping eyes on it, keeping it fresh. Set of hands and eyes on it will help for sure. So.
Yeah.
Now, some people are probably also in the position where they have a newer driver headed to school, and if I'm looking for a car and I want an independent set of eyes, is that something I can bring?
We do that. We call it a check before you buy, and it's
Okay.
really reasonably priced, and we'll give you an honest opinion of what's going on, and maybe a checklist of what it needs, so that you can kind of use that as a little negotiating, bargaining power too.
Yeah.
So,
I sometimes, and I feel this way too, but it can be intimidating to bring your car in if you don't know much about cars.
For sure.
So what are some questions that customers should ask if there is a repair that needs to be made on their car?
to buying a new car or to us? Or,
To
to
you,
you
like,
guys.
what kind of
Yeah,
questions?
just like what does it need? Has it had any prior maintenance done? We can usually pull up a list too of what's been done to the vehicle, so we can kind of have a good track record of past maintenance that's been done. But just having that inspection done, and is there anything that we can do in the future? Like, we'll never pressure you to do anything. If there's a safety issue or something that needs to be done now, we'll recommend it. But then if there's something 6 months or a year down the road, we'll keep notes and we'll save an estimate for you. You can always come back. We'll always be honest and upfront with what you need now and what can get put off till later. So,
Yeah, as we've seen the gas prices really shooting up, are there some things that make your
For
car
sure.
more fuel efficient?
There are just simple things like spark plugs and tune-ups. We also have some cleaners that we can put through there. It doesn't give you better mileage, but it will restore it back to where it was factory.
Okay.
And that's the main thing. Keep air filters. Your basic stuff will all making sure your tires are inflated properly will all give you better fuel economy.
Right. We're all looking for anything that
Anything
shaves
that
a
can
few
help.
cents off
I know
of that.
everybody's on a budget these days, and we're trying to buy cheap cars for our kids to drive and things like that. But always remember, the cheapest thing you can find, $1,000 car isn't much anymore. So there's always, you know, it's always good to get a set of eyes on that vehicle before you buy it, because so you're not stuck with a bunch of costly repairs when you do own it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's good to have a good relationship with a trustworthy and honest, you know, repair shop. So it's nice to hear that you're talking about those type of things.
Absolutely.
You've probably seen, having been in the business so long, you're seeing, like, maybe I came in as a kid with not knowing how to use my car, but now I'm bringing my kid in, which I still don't know how to use my car.
Family generations, that's good. We have a lot of people that have kids that are driving now, and so we're now starting to see them, having a little relationship with them, and teaching them what they need to do and how they need to,
take
care of their car.
And can you do any car, or
Most cars? There's some foreign cars that we can't do. We can always take a look at them. If we can't, we have several shops here in town that we trust that we could refreeze.
Okay. What's probably the most common repair that people come in for? Or
I would say during the summertime is going to be air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times during the fall and winter, it's going to be batteries, tires, that type of stuff. We see a lot of brakes and suspension stuff. Kind of broad, but during the summer for sure we do a ton of it.
What's something that a lot of people miss that's just such a cheaper, easier thing to do?
I would say like your cabin and air filters and oil changes.
Mm-hmm.
Oil changes they're just a cheap way, especially now with today's vehicles. They're so fussy on oil changes, so you want to make sure to do that on time.
Yeah. How many days past on time is really bad?
Mileage is what we usually go off of. Mileage and time. But you shouldn't go over. We'll go out a certain mileage depending on the vehicle and the type of oil. Stick right there. Try not to go 1,000 or 500. We have a lot of that happens. You know, I'm 2,000 over an oil change. So just generally, if that happens over and over again, it could lead to a lot of things down the road.
Well, now my car keeps telling me. I think I'm.
Sometimes our cars are smarter than us now.
They're telling us like a check. It's telling me every day how many days overdue it is.
Oh,
and so,
really?
Yeah, but I do only drive about a mile to and from work a day, and that might be all I do.
This is a reoccurring.
It might be.
We need to get you in.
Every year we say this.
And then it's starting now. My car tells me, and I don't know if I should tell you that it's 77.
Oh boy.
We should probably get that in.
Yes. And yes, I love that.
We'll
do that. Yes. Well,
Thanks a lot for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me as always, and it's always great talking to you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Before you hand over the keys or start up the back-to-school carpool, make sure your vehicle is as ready for the school year as you are. A quick inspection by the pros at T&A Auto Service can go a long way toward preventing unwelcome breakdowns and keeping everyone safe on the road.
They're located at 3412 South Minnesota Avenue. Just give them a call at 605-339-9717 to schedule your back-to-school vehicle check or send a request through their website at tnaservice.com.
This KELOLAND Living segment has been sponsored by T&A Auto Service. Describe the noise, the light, or the feeling, and T&A Auto Service will take it from there.
Still ahead, more inspiration, more style, and more reasons to smile.
Don't go anywhere. I've always wanted to make the trip to Smet, South Dakota and see Laura Ingalls Wilder's home and learn more about the place where she spent part of her childhood. So Mitchell and I recently took a little road trip to check it out.
And once we started learning more about Laura's life on the prairie, it actually inspired us to go back and start rereading her books. Well,
Mary Jo, thank you for having us. We're standing here in one of the homes that Laura Ingalls Wilder lived in, and we're out here with you at the Laura Ingalls Wilder Historic Homes. Tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, so you are standing in the original surveyor's house from by the shores of Silver Lake. This is the building that Laura spent her very first winter in the Dakota Territory. And all of her wonderful stories about where she started in the Dakota Territory start in this home, and you can come and see it anytime. 5 of Laura's 9 books are about this town and about, you know, our little town of Smet here.
Which of the 5 books are based in this area?
So it's By the Shores of Silver Lake, The Long Winter, Little Town on the Prairie, by These Happy Golden Years, and The First 4 Years.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
And she talks about Mrs. Boast a lot, and
She did.
in this house apparently is where they kind of met. Is that right?
It is. It is. Mr. and Mrs. Boast were also homesteading, and they ended up having a shanty just a little bit away from where this house was, because this house has been moved. It's not on Silver Lake anymore. But when it was on Silver Lake, their shanty was a little bit off, and they were the only people out here for that winter, and so they bonded, you know, and Mrs. Boast would come over and teach them all sorts of stuff because Mrs. Boast was from Iowa. And so being from Iowa, they had all sorts of fancy things that they didn't have, you know, in Wisconsin and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And so one of them is like the whatnot shelf. And so Mrs. Boast said, if you're nobody if you don't have a whatnot shelf in Iowa. So,
I love it.
so she taught Pa how to build it, and then they decorated it, which is
Wow.
kind of fun.
And so here you can see what life looked like at that
Yes,
time, and
absolutely.
you have different vignettes set up, and you can see the things that she would have been using, and there's pictures of them at the time. You can see what a kitchen be like. You can see what the upstairs is like. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, and the thing is, you know, Laura thought this place was a mansion, because think about what she lived in. Okay, she lived in Pepin, Wisconsin. She lived in a tiny, tiny little cabin, you know, maybe 18 by 18 feet. That was it. And then from there, they moved to Kansas, same deal,
Yeah.
tiny little thing. And then they end up in shanties and hotel rooms, and when they got to Minnesota, a dugout. Can you imagine a dugout?
Right.
You know, literally, and they couldn't even find the house at first. And not only that, but the one day Ma's, you know, cooking, and their cow's going across the top, and the cow's foot goes through. Can you imagine
Yeah,
cooking
right.
breakfast
Yeah,
and having a cow? Golly.
Yeah.
How fast do you think Pa built a house after that?
Yeah.
Pretty fast. Anyway.
So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so when she got here, she's like, oh Pa, can I run ahead? Can I run ahead? Because they, you know, prior to living in this house, they were working for the railroad, living outside this house in a shanty that was this tiny little thing. And you had 2 adults, 4 kids, one of them blind, one of them a baby, you know, living in this tiny little thing.
Okay.
And they want to move in here. It's got 2 floors. It's insane. She was so excited. She comes running in here, and she goes looking in that door, and it's a pantry. I mean, and it looks like a grocery store. She's never seen a grocery store before.
Wow.
Everything they eat is homemade. Canned peaches, canned pickles. Oh, they were so thrilled. And then a bedroom with a window. They didn't have any windows.
Wow.
You know, even a window. And it had a closet. And you know, we take closets for granted, but back then, if you only have 2 sets of clothes, do you need a closet?
Right. That's
No,
true.
you need 2 nails on the wall.
Tell us a little bit about the other homes and other buildings.
Oh,
on this side.
absolutely. Yeah, we've got, okay, so we have the original surveyor's house, which you're standing in. We also have the first school of Smet that Laura and Carrie attended school at. And that building it was a school for 5 years. And Laura and Carrie went to school there, and there are all sorts of cool stories from the long winter there. You know, when they escaped the blizzard and all that stuff with Miss Garland and all that jazz. And we've got some cool pictures in there from the actual long winter and the trains trying to come in from Tracy. Then we also have a replica building, which is of the Brewster School, which is the first school that Laura taught at. Now it's a replica because, well, it was an abandoned shanty on the prairie. It didn't make it. But then we also have the last home that Pa built, original windows, siding, floors, doors, all hand done by Pa, which, by the way, we're working on restoring right now. And it was the house that Ma, Pa, and Mary all retired in. Grace was married in the parlor. The goodbye dinner before Laura and her family moved to Missouri was held in that home. And just a little bit about the restoration of that home, because everything is original, including the siding. When you have to get it fixed, you can't just replace the siding. So you actually have to rebuild it. So we actually have been working on doing that this summer, and so we have a contractor who's rebuilding the shingles with epoxy and treating it and repainting it. And so anybody that wants help with that, feel free.
I love it here. I've been wanting to come here my whole life, and this is my first time here, so
Yeah.
I'm really amazed. It's just such a cool place.
Well, this building is so special, especially the surveyor's house. I've you know, I have had more people walk into this room and start crying because it connects them to Laura. It actually connects them to her. You know, unlike things like Harry Potter, good book, but nevertheless, Harry Potter, this is real. This really happened. It's a real person. And so when people read Laura's book, she becomes a childhood friend. But it's a childhood friend you can't call up. You know what I mean? And then you come here and you can actually touch what she touched, see what she saw, you know, kind of stuff. It can get emotional.
Now you also have a adjacent building where there's a gift shop and all kinds of cool things, and people are coming out here all the time to get to see this experience.
Oh yeah, we are open all year long. You know, we have different schedules for summer and winter, but we are open all year long, and we actually have a museum exhibit in the back because we have over 1,000 artifacts related to Laura that we rotate out and create new exhibits, and our new exhibit this year is called The First Families of Smet. So it's all about the characters that Laura wrote about in her books that founded this town.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come out here and experience this and be able to see all these iconic places that we read about.
Oh, sure, and we've got some special events coming up too. Can I mention them?
Yeah.
Sure.
So on the first Saturday of October, we're having a special Surveyor's House tour. Well, we'll do a special reading, and we'll include a cemetery tour in addition with it. Where one of our tour guides will take you out to the cemetery and show you all the graves of the people that were, you know, founders of this town and in the book, and tell you a little bit about them. And then in December, December 12th, we're having a candlelight tour. So it'll be after dark, probably around 5 o'clock. And we'll give a regular tour in candlelight, and then we'll end with Christmas carols at the Ingalls home.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you so much. We might have to come back.
You might have
you
to.
might.
Yes.
You might.
Thank you so much.
KLL continues with more from Smet right after this break.
Stay with us.
Another name you might know from around the Smet area is Harvey Dunn, the South Dakota artist best known for his powerful paintings of prairie life and the people who lived it.
While visiting the homes of Laura Ingalls Wilder, we learned more about Dunn's work as an artist, as well as the unique connection to the Ingalls family. Ben, thank you so much for meeting us out here. I've been wanting to come out here for all of my life, but what we're going to talk about a little bit is the Harvey Dunn Society, because you have an event happening out here at the Laura Ingalls Wilder homestead this weekend where you celebrate the work of Harvey Dunn, and people enjoy painting too.
Yes, so this is the 18th annual Plein Air Harvey Dunn Society sponsored event, and we encourage people to come for this free event and a chance to paint outside in the spirit of Harvey Dunn's work. Harvey Dunn grew up just west of here near the town of Manchester and in Smet, and so Kingsbury County and Smet claim him. And in 76 years ago now, he was convinced to bring his artwork to Smet for a weekend. It wound up being so popular, thousands of people kept coming to Smet to see his work, and ultimately, many of those paintings then were donated to South Dakota State, and that's why they're at the Art Museum today.
Right. For people who don't know what plein air means, like myself, explain that.
Well, it's a way of painting outside and capturing the moment. So as the colors change during the day, clouds come in and so forth, it's not meant to be like a finished, polished painting like a photograph would be, but more almost like an impressionism in that style. And Harvey Dunn really mastered that and promoted that as a style of painting. So we wanted to carry that forward too.
Now, something I didn't know, I knew Harvey Dunn was from around here, I knew Laura Ingalls Wilder was, but I didn't know how closely connected they were, and that's interesting.
Yeah, cousins by marriage.
Yeah.
The Dows and the Dunns and the Ingalls and the Wilders and so forth were all a broad family in the area.
And they actually knew each other, and I think Laura Ingalls Wilder even wrote positive things about Harvey Dunn's work.
Right. Harvey Dunn, as a young man, learned to paint, started at South Dakota State, and then went East Coast and studied under some teachers there and some art professors there, became an illustrator, and when World War I came along, he joined the Army, and he went to France and painted combat scenes, so like a combat photographer would be today, but he was doing paintings of that for the Army. And so then he came, after the war, became an illustrator, and that was his going work, was working for Saturday Evening Post, and a lot of the major magazines would put his art on the cover, because he could crank it out. He became somebody that they could go to illustrate something, and so you might see a lot of museums all over the country who specialize in Western art or things from early 20th century probably would have a Harvey Dunn there because it may have been on the cover of Saturday Evening Post in a magazine.
Now, can other people join you in the Harvey Dunn Society? If people are interested in Harvey Dunn, what sort of makes you qualified?
No qualifications necessary.
Okay.
In fact, you don't even need money. It's a free event to come out and participate. Just got to get yourself to the Smet, get your canvases stamped, bring some paints, and then go where you will around town. There's plenty of scenic places to paint. A lot of flowers like we see here or anywhere at the park. Just some place that you can do a painting that catches your attention. So a lot of people paint the courthouse, Main Street, the park, the cemetery, and then around here is a great place to paint, and then out at the homestead too.
And also you do this every August.
Yes.
So if you missed it this year, you can still come out.
That's right.
That's really great. Well, I know that we recently got a new Harvey Dunn, or a Harvey Dunn donated, so I think we're gonna go check that painting out.
Okay,
And we're
yeah, please
so
do.
Yeah.
glad that you could join us and tell us all about that rich history.
Sure,
Yeah,
you're
thank
welcome.
you so much.
Yep.
Mary Jo, thank you for bringing us in here. We're in your archival room here where you
Yep.
have so many things related to Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Absolutely.
But you have something that you've recently been given.
Yes.
Tell us about this.
Well, this is a very special painting. It's called Farewell. It's by Harvey Dunn, and it used to hang in the Ingalls home. It was done by Harvey for his Auntie Grace, which is Grace Ingalls Dow, and she had it hanging in the home when she was taking care of Mary after Ma died. And a young little girl by the name of Yvonne Peterson, her mother was Harvey's aunt, and they were visiting Mary and Grace. And while they were visiting, she was admiring the painting, and Grace took it off the wall and gave it to her. And she kept it all these years and bequeathed it to her daughter, who is Chris Bloom, who donated it to us. And the reason she gave it to us instead of all the other places that Harvey Dunn resides, you know, at South Dakota State University, etc., is because it hung in the Ingalls home and she felt it should come back home.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
so we were very happy
Tell
to
us
have it.
What's happening in the painting?
Well, this is a painting, like I said, it was called Farewell, and it is a World War I soldier saying goodbye to his sweetheart. And it's tough to do on film, but I hope someday we can display it. We're working on raising funds to get the proper casing so that we can display it. And when we do, I encourage visitors to back up from the painting. Because it's an impressionist painting, it actually becomes clearer the farther back you go.
Yeah.
And it's really just awesome. So.
I think it's amazing, and it's an amazing way to help connect the stories of Laura Ingalls Wilder and Harvey Dunn, which until you told me, I didn't know were so connected.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they were relatives, which is kind of cool.
That is.
You know. And the funny thing is, you know, I'm an import to South Dakota. I wasn't born and raised here, and so when I first got here, everyone was talking about Harvey Dunn and all this stuff. And then I started looking at the Harvey Dunn paintings, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I know him. I know him. I love his art. You know. So even if you don't know who Harvey Dunn is, I promise you've seen his stuff, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
This is quite an archive here. What else do you store here?
Oh, we store all sorts of artifacts from Laura Ingalls Wilder. I mean, we have Almanzo's cane, we have Laura's velvet dress, we have original needlework and stuff from the family, etc. We have Mary's trunk, Ma and Pa's organ, which is actually in our exhibit right now. We've got just an enormous amount of stuff.
Wow, this place is full of so much history. I love it. Thank you for showing us this beautiful painting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Come see it yourself someday.
Stick around. We've got some simple ways to make everyday life a little better.
Don't miss it. All right, snack lovers, buckle up because today we're making homemade Kit Kat style bars that taste shockingly close to the real thing.
And yes, we're using club crackers. I know, crackers and candy sounds like something a rogue raccoon invented. But trust me, these bars are outrageously good.
That's right, they've got the crunch, the snap, and the I can't believe I made this energy. So let's get into it before I eat the whole pan myself.
Oh, wow,
All right.
boy, raccoon.
Well, we're gonna start with 2 sticks of butter. sugar.
And I'm gonna line this pan with 1 sleeve of crumb crackers. Now,
Yep.
but tell me, what's my time frame on getting that first part done? Do I have time to meticulously cut this parchment paper?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This is going to be a tough one to pull off anyway.
Okay,
So
get going
in
is
the
what
time
you're
that we
saying.
have, right.
I just didn't know how long that part took.
Boy, I'm just spilling on myself. And butter is not the thing that you want to get on yourself.
No.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Scott and
starting the
Jalen,
year
you might
out
want
right.
to pull up the chairs because we're starting this out. We're starting this out right.
So it takes
Gotta
a cup and a half.
give them a little warning that it's about to get real in here. 'Cause
Right.
okay.
A cup and a half of brown sugar.
Okay.
And then a half a cup of regular sugar. And 2 sticks of butter is how you start this one.
Okay.
And you like Kit Kat bars, don't you?
I love Kit Kat bars.
Who doesn't?
But it's not, it is, I would put it in the top of my candy loves, but not the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you like it, but you don't love it. Like, what's your all-time favorite?
You know.
Oh, yeah, Carmelo.
Yeah, we both love caramellos.
We do.
I don't know. I switch back and forth, though. Lately, I've been into, because Hale loves them, is those Bueno bars.
Oh, those are really good.
Yeah.
I have to admit, those are delicious.
Is it okay if I'm doing like a
patchwork? Yeah, you can do whatever you want as
You
long
guys,
as the bottom is
check
covered.
this
That is
out.
really quite
It's like-
creative.
I know.
That
I
you
can't
have
show
really
you very
outdone
well,
yourself.
but I'm doing a little pattern here.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
too. Okay.
Okay, so once I get this pretty well combined, I am going to add a half a cup of milk and a little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla. That is kind of the odd part about this recipe. I've never had a recipe like this that took milk like this before.
Really?
But
What?
yeah, it'll be okay, I think.
I don't know. I might undo my pattern. I think it might fit better like this. I can't tell. Oh, I've
Oh.
got it. I've got it figured out. Don't worry.
Okay, I trust you. I trust you. And then the other thing that's very odd about this one is I'm going to need you to open that graham cracker pie shell
Okay.
over there. And as soon as you get that, yeah, that looks good.
I got to
though.
tell you though, you were worried we wouldn't have enough crackers, and we've got plenty of crackers.
Okay. Feel free to snack on them if you need.
You know, I mean, he warned me. He's like, now listen, we're gonna need all the crackers. And I was like, so don't eat them.
I did worry that we didn't have enough, but we probably do. Because all I'm saying is this takes 3 layers of crackers, which is kind of a lot if you
I got
think
it.
about
Don't worry.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
all ready, and I am
Okay.
now ready to open your graham cracker
Yeah,
crust.
open that
Why do you
on up.
have this?
So here's the weird part about this one, and I've never had a recipe ask for this before, but they say to pour the graham crackers into this mixture, and that will probably give it more of a, I don't know, a Kit Kat
And you
taste.
decided instead of crushing up graham crackers, you would just crush up the
Yep,
shell.
just
Now,
put that on in.
Okay.
I think
mean,
it'll work perfect.
Okay. So right now.
Yep, go for it.
Boom. That's a good hack.
That is
That
a good
saved
hack.
us some time.
Yes, it
Yes,
did.
it did. Okay. Now
Okay.
what? I'm going to pre-open
So-
the next sleeve because you said we're on a time crunch.
Yes, go ahead and do that. I want to get this good and smushed around.
Do you guys
I
like
almost
Kit
need-
Kats? Yes.
Give
Okay, we
me
got a
a
yes
break.
from them too.
Give me a break. Break me
Yeah.
off of the Kit Kat
I
bar.
wonder if it's
Come on,
gonna work
everybody
like
now.
that. I know. I love it when you sing to me. Okay. Oh,
So-
yeah. I'm excited about this. Okay.
Okay. So the interesting thing about this is, like I said, it has graham cracker crumbs in it, and I'm just trying to get those smushed before I put it onto that goodness right there.
That goodness of a layer of club crackers.
Yes.
That's the goodness. Wow.
You're right.
We've lowered our standards.
There is one other thing, exactly. There is one other thing that happens. There is a layer of chocolate that goes on the top of this, which I don't think we're going to get that far. But
Okay.
But yes, there's a layer of
Do you
chocolate
want me to
as
open
well.
the chocolate?
Well, I just started to remember that I forgot to bring the microwave out.
They asked us specifically if we needed the microwave, and we said absolutely not.
So-
We're using a hot plate.
so-
We said no worries.
So
That's going to be a hard one to deliver.
We'll do that
Well, you
afterwards.
could pour it in there
Yeah, I did think about that actually, and that might be
because
what
it's going to get mixed in with that ingredient anyway.
I
don't think
guess.
it'd be the worst thing in the
It
world.
wouldn't be the worst thing in the
Okay.
world. Now, here I'm going to pour half of this onto that.
Yep.
Okay. Get ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. This is where we see if my patterns worked, because
I know.
might be some slippage.
Yeah, a little bit of
A little
slippage,
bit.
but not
It's
too
okay.
much.
It's okay.
I think it'll work.
Yep. Now what though?
Now. Now, yeah,
Spread it out?
actually I gave you a
Of
spatula.
course you did. And an extra pan too.
And an extra pan just in case. So spread that out nicely. Oh, and then, by the way, you're going to want to put a layer of crackers on top of that.
Yeah, I
okay.
thank you so much.
Yeah, so once we get that layer on top, then we can do the chocolate at the very, very, very end.
I'm not doing the spreading to your standards.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I put this in your pan to hold it?
Sure, sure.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, you start over on that end, and I'll try to fix the crackers down here, because that is a part of it, is, you know, trying to get the crackers to stay on the bottom right.
It smells good.
It does smell good.
But I don't know.
Oh, now I got them right. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think
we're doing good.
Okay.
We're doing good.
It's that end where it doesn't fit that it's not as good, but I'm going to approach this slightly differently on this side.
Okay, good idea.
Learned from the crackers.
Right.
Okay, so what you're going to do is I'm going to do this. You're going to pour the other layer on, and then I'm going to do another layer of crackers, and then the chocolate that's not melted from
And then the chocolate that we don't. We have the chocolate. We have everything. We just don't have a microwave. But I could try.
We only have 30 seconds anyway.
So we would never. I had a feeling we weren't going to get to it. Okay.
We'll do that in a minute, and we'll have it for the end.
Yeah, we can put it at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
So I'll put this last layer on.
There we go. Try that out for size.
Here we go.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be good. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. We'll spread that out. I'll get my crackers going. You get the microwave going, and we'll be ready for business.
That's right.
All right. Stay tuned. There's plenty more KELOLAND Living to come after this.
Stay with us. This KELOLAND Living segment is sponsored by the Washington Pavilion. Tickets are on sale now for the 2026-27 Broadway show season.
There's a full season of Broadway ahead at the Washington Pavilion in Sioux Falls, and a subscription is a great way to make the most of it.
The 2026-27 lineup has plenty to look forward to, including Waitress the Musical, Mystic Pizza, and The Wiz, along with season extras throughout the year.
Regina Ruberg is the executive producer of programming and booking at the Washington Pavilion.
She says that with the season just around the corner, now is the perfect time to explore subscription options, find your seats, and start filling the calendar with Broadway nights under the lights. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, this is one of our favorite things to
favorite
talk about.
things, yes.
Mine too.
We love going to these shows at the Pavilion. So tell us a little bit about what this next season is going to look like, and how you went about kind of finding what to do this year.
I think, you know, every season is the best season, right? The next one's always the best. Having Waitress back was kind of a big deal for me, because that was the last show we did in March of 2020.
Okay.
We all remember what happened then.
That's right.
And so get that back so that people can see it that wasn't able to come out back then.
Yeah, okay.
And Juliet is almost straight from Broadway. It's one of the newer ones. We're very excited to get a full week of that.
Okay.
And then Mystic Pizza brings you back to the 80s. Shucked is, oh my goodness, hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious. You have to come to that one. The Wiz, that's our family show.
Yeah.
And then the classic Neil Diamond, Beautiful Noise.
Yeah.
To learn about his life a little bit, and then to hear all of his hits.
Sure.
It was just to find the classic, the kids, the new, and put that all together is like the biggest Jenga game of my life.
I bet. We love to do the series subscription. So tell people what the advantages are of doing that rather than buying individual tickets.
I think the one thing people don't think about in buying a subscription is that you buy it now and then you're set for the next 9 months. The self-care, the night, you know, I need a date night. I need to take my kids out and get them acquainted with the live entertainment. Buy it now, pick your dates, and you're all set. If the dates are more important to you, we have a new CYO6, so you can pick exactly the dates you want to come to all of those shows, plus 4 or 5 more.
Yeah.
And if the seats are more important to you, go with our traditional subscription. Pick your favorite seat. You have that exact same seat the whole 10 shows.
Yeah, and that's kind of nice.
And the discounts are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get a subscription every year too, and we didn't for a while, and then my kids started to get more into it, and then the one time they wanted to go to one specific one that we didn't have the tickets to, we were like, so you got to just get them all and be set to go.
And it's only going to be more expensive. I mean, that's just the way the world works, right?
Yeah. And by the way, having done the season tickets too, is that you can switch dates and you can switch times and you can move them around if you need to. So that's the other advantage as well.
And that's as the full subscription or full subscriber, that's one of your benefits is to switch out when something comes up.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm interested in, I saw Anne Juliet, I didn't see Anne Juliet, but I saw that it was out there when I was in New York, and I was interested in it. Tell us a little bit about that one.
That's one of my favorites. I mean, like your kids, you're not supposed to have a favorite show, but I'm really excited for this one. It's a story inside of a story. So it's basically what happens if Anne Juliet didn't die.
Okay.
Or if Juliet didn't die.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that's the Anne Juliet, because the story is all about Romeo.
Got it.
Now it's girl power.
Right.
Okay.
So it's really funny. It's really like quick-witted. You don't have to know about Shakespeare. I loved every minute of it. So, and that's one that all the kids and the family can come to, like from 15 to 85, because there's something in that show for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see it multiple times because it's so quick-witted that you can see it the next day and go, I didn't pick that up last night.
Yeah, yeah. Well, The Waitress, I actually was there for the March 2020 showing of The Waitress, and that was what made me fall in love with it. And I love the music so much, I want to come back to this one. So tell people about The Waitress and why people are excited for that.
Just another one with Sarah Bareilles that started it with all of her great pop music. Another finding yourself and deciding what you want to be in life instead of what people are telling you you should be. Every musical, it has that underlying story.
Yeah.
And that message that we want you to leave the hall with making the world a better place. And, and Waitress just kind of has that subtle little underlying meaning of that, and with the great music. So.
Yeah. Sure. Mystic Pizza is a throwback, right?
Back to the 80s.
Back to the 80s.
Big hair.
We do like to do that.
We do like that. And we love Back to the Future even.
Yeah.
So.
So this will be a fun one. A lot of people are familiar with it, but as I've kind of noticed lately, there's a whole new generation of kids that are 19, 18, 19, 20 that are loving to get into some of these throwbacks too.
It's the classic movie. I mean, everybody can do, I don't want to say Netflix and chill, but it's available to everybody, and people are going back to those classics, the feel-good, Julia Roberts, and it's just, I keep saying feel-good, but that's what live entertainment is supposed to make you do.
Right.
Come to the theater, relax, leave your day at home, and just kind of be transported to a different time. And now you get to go back to the 80s.
I don't know too much about Shucked, but I hear a lot about it.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It's very funny.
Okay.
It's very funny. A lot of adult humor. Very quick-witted. I remember seeing that one in New York going, oh, what? That's funny, but okay. Okay. And, who knew corn could be that interesting for 2.5 hours?
Right.
It's the story of corn.
Yeah.
And it's cheeky. It's the, salesman that comes to town and tries to get you to buy something, and then he's got the hidden agenda. And again, just you will want to see that one. It is just hilarious. If you need a good laugh in February, which we're all going to need one in February in this neck of the woods.
Okay. And I hope the cast has a chance to make it to the Corn Palace.
That would be a good one.
We might need to do a
note to self. We should. Hey, marketing. We should do that.
Yeah,
that would be really good. Does it take place in today's time?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the slimy salesman and the corn made me think of those Jerusalem artichokes from the 80s.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's not bad. I mean, it's certainly a small town that has some flair of its own.
That.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So and then The Wiz, of course, and A Beautiful Noise we talked about with the Neil Diamond musical. There's all kinds of fun things, and the extras.
I mean, we have 4 right off the bat that we were able to put out there, and I mean, my job is strictly booking shows now, so I'm going to excel and meet expectations there. We have a lot of good ones coming up.
Yeah,
some season extras like Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock, September 24th. Actually Jim Henson's birthday.
Oh.
So it's a birthday party we're also having.
That's
But
cool.
again, throwback to it's like bell bottoms. It's all coming back.
Fraggle Rock used to be on right before My Little Ponies, which is the only cartoon my mom would let me watch that wasn't animated well.
Right?
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. You've got a cool job. We want to talk more about that, but this is going to be a great season. Thank you for coming to tell us about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't miss your chance to get in early and enjoy the Washington Pavilion's incredible upcoming Broadway season of shows.
Subscribe and get your tickets now for these unforgettable experiences. Tickets are available by calling the Pavilion box office at 605-367-6000 and online at washingtonpavilion.org.
This KELOLAND Living segment has been sponsored by the Washington Pavilion. Tickets are on sale now for the 2026-27 Broadway show season. What's next? You'll have to join us after the break to find out.
We'll be right back.
In fact, we each bought a book while we were at
Right.
the Laura Ingalls Wilder exhibit there, and I got The Long Winter.
Yes, and I did The Little Town on the Prairie. I think it's the one right after The Long Winter, and we
Yeah.
thought we'd read them and swap.
Yes, we think it's going to be
That's our
fun.
plan.
All right, well, we hope that you had as much fun as we did over the past hour. From our home to yours, thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep living your best life in KELOLAND.
Content segments during KELOLAND Living were paid for by the following: TNA Auto Service in Sioux Falls.
And the Washington Pavilion.
KELOLAND Living set furniture is provided by Billy Arthur Design Studio in Sioux Falls. From timeless classics to modern statements, Billy Arthur Design's curated selection ensures that every piece is not only beautiful, but also of highest quality. The premium flower arrangements that beautify the KELOLAND Living set each week are provided by the Flower Mill in Sioux Falls, helping you honor life's special moments since 2006.